Welcome to episode 13, Research Methodology. In this short video, we take a look at research and what it might involve for your project. Whether you are doing the Level 1 or the Level 2 project qualification, research will form part of the work you do. Let's have a look. At Level 1, there is no requirement to carry out independent research. What that means for you, the student, is that you can be handed a reading list of research which your teacher has chosen for you, and your task will be to review and analyze it yourself. At Level 2, however, there is a requirement to gather research by yourself, independent from what your teacher may provide you. Because you are sourcing your own research, part of how you will be assessed will be on your evaluation of the sources of research. For each piece of research you consider, you will be expected to provide comments on the sources you use, explaining why the information you have considered is trustworthy. In a world of fake news and mass information online, it is now more important than ever to make sure you find sources of information that you can trust and build upon. As a reminder, here are the recommended word counts for the research sections of Level 1 and Level 2. They are, of course, just a recommendation, and you can write more or less. If your project is an artifact or a performance, you may well find that your research can be documented in a shorter report or as part of your portfolio of evidence. It really is up to you. What your assessor will want to see is how the research you considered actually influenced your project. So make sure this is clear in your work. There are so many potential sources of information to use in your research. Pause this video now to review the list below. When you source information from books, websites, or other existing sources, this is known as a secondary source of research. This means that you are not creating any new information through your research activity, but reviewing what others have already done. When you create new research, this is known as a primary source of research. This typically involves you capturing new data or insights from people and activities that you carefully choose. This activity will require you to handle some new data, which means you need to have the skill to do this properly. To begin with, you will need to design the method you want to capture the data, via a questionnaire perhaps. Then you need to organize the data as it comes in a chart or table perhaps. And finally, you need to analyze the data to decide what it is telling you. If you are exploring different topics through your research, this might require you to test and experiment with the options you have available to you. You might want to try out different software, or you might like to try different materials or media, or you might like to try different technological solutions, all before you decide on what to use for your project. This is all research. At the end of your research, it is important to have a record of all the sources as a bibliography. This will be an activity that you will want to learn how to do properly through your teacher.